Hello guys, in this video we will be going over LeetCode problem number 278, first bad version. In this question, you're a product manager designing a product and one of your versions fails the quality check, but since each version is based on the previous one, all the versions afterwards are also bad. So suppose you're given a list of number n's, so starting from 1 goes all the way to n, and you want to find out the first bad version, and you're given the function that will return a Boolean value of either true or false to determine the bad version, and what you need to do is to create a function that tells the first bad version of your product. And in this question, we'll be utilizing the technique called binary search to complete this problem. Alright, let us start. So unlike the previous video, we are going to tweak our binary search technique a little bit to find the optimal solution to this problem. Because in this instance, instead of having one target value, we have multiple target values. And what we want to do is find the first target value. So we're going to tweak a little bit. Instead of returning middle to find the target value, we want high and low to converge at the first target value, and in the end, we will return low to indicate the value. And through the process, we will use middle to shift our low and high values so they can converge. And one of the few tweaks we're going to make is that instead of having while high equals or is greater than low, it's just going to be greater because we want both values to converge on the first target value. So let us start. We're going to set low first to our lowest value, which is 1, and high to the highest, which is 9, and calculate middle, which is 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So we checking 5, we realize that it is a good version, and what we do is we set the low value to middle plus 1. So now low will equal 6, which is 5 plus 1, and we will recalculate middle to being 15 divided by 2, which is 7. Then checking 7, we realize that 7 is a bad version, but now we still don't know if it is the first bad version yet. So we're going to shift high. Instead of shifting it to middle minus 1, we're going to shift it to middle. So now high will equal to 7. I'm going to recalculate middle, and in this instance, middle will equal to 6 plus 7, which is 13 divided by 2 gives us 6. So we're going to check 6 again, and since 6 is a good version, we will shift low to 6 plus 1, which equals 7. And now since 7, which is low, equals high, which is also 7, we break out of the while loop and return the low value, which turns out is 7, which is our first bad version. Now let us look at an example given by the problem. In this example, we will first set low to 1 and high to 5. And we will have the middle value of 6 divided by 2, which equals 3. So we're going to check 3. And since we realized after checking that 3 is a good version, we're going to shift low to middle plus 1. So low now will be middle 3 plus 1 equals 4. And the new middle value will be 4 plus 5 divided by 2, which gives us 4. Now we're going to check 4 as middle. And since we find 4 is a bad version, we will shift high to equals to middle, which is 4. And since low is already 4 and high being 4, we will break out of the while loop and return our low value, which is 4, which is the bad version of our product. Alright, let us do one more example. In this example, we will use binary search by setting low to 1 and high to our highest value, which is 7. Given this, our middle value will be 8 divided by 2, which is 4. I'm going to check 4, and turns out 4 is already a bad version. So we are going to set high to the middle, which is 4, and then recalculate middle to 4 plus 1 divided by 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2, because we're going to round down the number. So we're going to check 2. Checking 2, we realize 2 is also a bad version. So we're going to set high to 2 now. Setting high to 2, we're going to calculate middle one more time. So that's 3 divided by 2, which gives us 1. And finally, 1 is a good version. So we're going to low is going to be middle plus 1, which in this case, low equals 2. And since now low and high equals each other, we break out of the while loop and return low, which in this case is to the first bad version of our test. All right, this is how we're going to use binary search to do this problem. And now let us code out our solution. All right, let us code out the solution to this problem. First, we're going to set low to 1 and high to n. And then we're going to implement our while loop for our binary search, but instead of setting high to greater or equal to low, we're going to only set it to low, greater than low, because we want the two values to converge to the first bad version of our product. Then we're going to set middle to equals to high plus low divided by 2. We're going to use double divide to get the rounded number. And if we're going to call the function is bad version middle, and if that is true, then we're going to set high to middle because we know that it's a bad version and we want to change our middle. And then else, if it's a good version, we're going to set low equals to middle plus 1. So we can recalculate our middle to return the next one. And then after the while loop is done, we will return middle to get our solution. Yay! Our solution works. Congrats! When you see this question in your next interview, you will definitely be able to ace it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until we code again.